All right, y'all. Hamid Yaz here with another episode of The Heat Tank. And we have a very interesting business model in today because it's not a typical employee business owner business model. We have Skinny's Barbershop, the owner and two of the store managers in today, and they're going to talk to us about personal brands, how they've built their personal brands. We're also going to share a lot of insight on what didn't work, what has worked, and also for those of y'all maybe looking to start a barbershop or a cosmetics type of, I guess you wouldn't call it cosmetics, but we'll call it a women's hair services, because it's kind of the same thing, and it's really interesting when nobody is really an employee, so it kind of falls down to who's responsible for the marketing. So that's going to be really interesting about this. So I'll let them introduce themselves. And we have with us from Skinny's Barbershop.
Hey, I'm John, owner of Skinny's Barbershop. Austinite, born and raised. Grew up in South Austin. Let's see, I've worked in barbering for the past about 17 years now. Came out of school, went to a old shop. It was called Curvin's Barbershop. Used to be next to Fiesta, Music Mania, and man, I've been doing it ever since.
Cool.
I had a dream of opening a shop about 2-3 years into barbering, and ended up, it took about 10 more years for it to happen.
Yeah.
But it's happened. We've got one off of Westgate and William Cannon. We've got another one that just opened 10 months ago off of 290, like in between Austin and Dripping Springs.
Yeah. That's 2 locations in how many years?
2 locations.
3?
Yeah, in 3 years, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Congratulations.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And who we got next?
My name is Caesar. Been a barber for about 3 years now. Been at Skinny's the whole time. Love it every day. Go to work happy every day. Don't plan on going anywhere soon. So, just love what I do. Love my coworkers. Love everybody.
Cool. Next, you
Hey,
sir.
how's it going, Hamid? I'm Brian. I've been barbering for about 8 years now. Moved out here from LA probably about 11 months ago.
Did you bring some Dino's chicken with you?
Nah, no chicken.
That Dino's goes hard though, right?
But I've been John since I moved out here back in August of last year, and all my family, well, not everybody in my family, but my 2 older brothers, they're both barbers. They both got me into the game. I went straight to barber school after high school, and been doing that ever since, man.
Cool. Just have fun and enjoy doing what you do. That's what matters, because there's people every day that go to work, and it's funny because they're there for 8 hours or 10 hours or hell, even if it's a part-time job, and they're just so drained out because it's negative energy all around them. But when you're in a place where you enjoy it, the people around you enjoy it, new customers every 20, 30 minutes that you can, they can lighten up your day, with just one customer. It's cool, man. That's very cool to hear. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about or start off with is that a typical barbershop, we'll say, has a business model that's quite different than, let's say, I don't know, maybe great haircuts or super cuts, and maybe they're just employees. I don't know what their structure is. But with you guys, John, you started both, and every barber that you have, they are independent contractors, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They're independent contractors. It's a booth rental situation. I've found that doing it this way, you keep good barbers.
Yes.
So the other way, people go there, they work, they're like, this is not my end goal to stay here and work for somebody else and make them rich.
Yeah.
The deal is their booth rent, the harder they work, the more money they make.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and I see a lot of barbers that I see on Instagram or whatever, and I'm like, how the hell you driving that $50,000 car? How you doing this? How you doing that? And, some people might refer to them as celebrity barbers. But it's also a thing of what are they doing different than a typical, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, than a typical barber that's saying, yeah, I got clients, yeah, I'm booked. But why do some people just take off into a whole nother dimension as a barber and are making more money and driving these $50,000, $60,000 cars, or living in this big house, or getting flown out to go do so-and-so's hair or whatever? So those are things that we're going to talk about now, but I just wanted people to know that these are not employees of a business. So luckily, you guys have the leeway to be able to say, hey, I want to do whatever the hell I want to do as far as marketing-wise, as long as it respects the brand. Because really, you're still a representative of the brand, but you guys are lucky because you get to do it how you want to do it. Other businesses have employees that they're just kind of like at the mercy of, if they say, well, our marketing budget for this month is tight, we can't do nothing. But luckily, if you want to put $20 or $1,000, you're more than welcome now to do whatever you want to do. So I want to start off by asking, currently, how do you guys get clientele? Is it word of mouth? Is it people were just driving by? Is it Facebook ads? Like, what exactly has been so far successful for you three?
Who wants to start?
Well, basically, it's just the main thing that is going to start off with is your haircut. Your haircut has to be good, obviously, for the customer to come on back. And I mean, I think the most important thing is your client, the one you gave a haircut to, having their friends or kids or neighbors or whatever come on by because they appreciate the haircut. So that's one thing. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then also I have an Instagram. You could promote yourself on that too.
Yep.
But I mean, you could. We have tons of people that just are in the street and they just
cruising by or whatever.
And they're like, oh, look, there's a barbershop right there. Let me go check it out. You come on in, and as soon as they come on in, you gotta be like, hey man, how's it going? How's your day been? And then
who sent you?
Yeah, and then that's basically it. You ask them, do you have an appointment? If not, we have time for you.
Yeah.
If you want to wait about 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour. If you got time, we got time.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
And what about for you?
A lot of my traffic is to do walk-ins, appointments, but mainly walk-ins.
Okay.
If you take care of your people, walk-ins especially, they're potential clients. So
yeah.
Having that kind of action going in the shop is very, 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 very great.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't have appointments.
Yeah. Could be slow.
And if you take care of walk-ins, they're your potential clients.
Yeah.
Probably for life or probably for 5-10 years or however long you want to take it. But it really all depends on how you want to hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you really want to stay busy, then you're going to stay busy. But if you don't want to stay busy, then you're going to have nobody.
Yep.
If you accommodate to your customers, you will be busy at all times.
Yes. And
consistency as well is another thing.
Yes. Very consistently great haircuts.
Yes.
Remarkable haircuts.
And consistently being there too.
Yes. Very, very important.
Yes, sir. Very important to be at work at a certain time of the day. You cannot make money if you're going to work at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like leaving at 4 o'clock. You can't make money that way.
And before we get John's answer, there's something that you said, which is consistency. And a brand is three things. And this is what a lot of people don't know. It's expectation, reputation, and consistency.
Yes, sir.
If I'm going to Whole Foods, I know what to expect.
Yes.
I'm going to consistently expect to pay $7 for a freaking croissant or whatever. But they have the reputation of being good or possibly healthy or whatever. So that is a key word that you said. And also there was a spot on the east side, I doubt it's still there, Big Mike, I think they called him. He used to cut hair.
Oh, I remember.
This
Big
is
Mike.
back in the day. I think it was 12th Street, right?
The designs and...
Yeah. Was it 12th Street? Rosewood 12th? No, 12th Street maybe.
I'm not sure. At the time, I was in barber school. He's been cutting hair for a while.
Yeah. So for you guys, I know you're from Cali, it was, right?
Yeah.
And, you might be a little bit younger because I'm all old man, gray hair or whatever. But at the time, I was working at Dell Computers. This was, early 2000s, late 90s. There were this is no lie, okay? And this goes to show the power of a brand for a barber. And you might have already heard stories or you might already know. They used to line up at his barbershop at 5 a.m. This is no lie. To get a haircut on a Saturday. This is not a lie. And I mean, I don't remember what he was charged because I never went to him. But I had friends that worked at Dell that would literally leave the club, go to IHOP, go and eat, and they would go camp out to get a haircut from Big Mike. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the line would start. You would think nowadays it's Franklin's Barbecue or something. But that just goes to show the power of a brand. And remember, it was him, I think it was one barber, right? Maybe he had other barbers, but as far as for him specifically, he was the celebrity barber of East Austin. And people from North Austin were going to him 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Now that is crazy. But go ahead. In your history owning the shops, what has been successful and what has really pulled people in?
When we started, man, it was just me. I'm pretty grateful for my clients that I had.
Yeah.
Throughout my barbering career, because those are the guys that made this thing even possible. And it wasn't gonna happen until I was ready to grow up.
No clients, no cash.
Yeah, and same thing. Be consistent, show up, be on time for my appointments and all that other stuff. But what we started doing at the beginning was I came in there. I was paying rent, on the east side, and then I was coming to work. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Might have to live here for a little while. Whatever, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
My customers kept me afloat. I was working, I think, 6 days a week at the time.
Okay.
Community Impact. I don't know if you've heard
the magazine.
Yeah. They always put out like a little blurb about a new business coming into town.
Yes.
And when that happened, I started getting people in, and they were telling me, yo, Community Impact. I would ask everybody, how'd you hear about us? And so Community Impact played a big part. I grabbed a barber, grabbed another barber, and when I was ready, I reached out to Community Impact, said, hey, I need traffic.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all did the first time worked.
Yeah, so now it was like a paid ad kind of thing? Okay.
Exactly. So what are your ad costs? And, I made it. I put it in the budget.
Yeah.
I had to try it. And we started with maybe it was like $3, maybe even $5 off coupon.
Okay.
And so we could actually physically see the results.
Yes.
People would come in with the coupons, and we'd take care of them. And some of the customers were so cool, they'd come in with the coupon and say, hey, I saw it in the ad, but I'm not going to use it. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, real cool. So, that helped out. We did some pop-up shops.
Okay.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
I had some young clients that were into promotion and putting stuff together.
Did you do a whiskey bar or something one time? I saw a whiskey something, I think it was.
We did that recently, Brian and I.
Okay.
We went out there to Treaty Oak and to their facility. We put one of our old school chairs over there.
Yeah.
And cut hair, man. Did shaves, cut hair, sold merch.
Damn.
It was a good turnout. That's a really neat place out there. Then these young guys put me on over at Clive Bar. So we did Clive a couple times on Rainey Street. And I had a customer that I met from that event. That was like maybe 2-3 years ago. He hit me up today to try to get in for a haircut, so it works, putting yourself out there, trying new things. I hardly turn anything down if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, are you willing to do this?
Yeah, as long as it makes sense, of course. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
As long as it makes sense.
First things first is taking care of home for me.
Yes.
Which is my clients, the busy days.
Your 2 locations, yeah.
Yeah. Well, these guys helped me out a whole bunch with that. So.
Yeah. That's good though that you have guys that you can trust with your business, because a lot of, and I deal with them every week, a lot of business owners micromanage so much. I'm like, what's he doing here? What's he doing there? What's he doing? Like, they don't give anybody the ability to be able to say, you put me in charge. Let me show you what you're paying me to, or, what you have me obligated to do to run this shop. That's what you got me for. That's what you're trusting me for. But a lot of people micromanage so much that they're always looking over your shoulder, calling every hour. Hey, what's going on? Did anything happen? Anything go wrong? And it's like, dang, I've worked regular jobs to where managers were like that. And it's like, if I'm the lead or the co-manager, go take a day off, man. Relax. We got this. Don't have to call us every hour, You don't have to look over our shoulder. But one of the things that, let me rephrase that. The main goal, of branding, because on this show, we share marketing and branding ideas and concepts and methods and such. But the goal, in my opinion at least, because obviously it works consistently, whether you're a small brand or a big brand, is to be the first or the only name that comes to mind when that specific product or service is needed. So if I need a haircut, obviously, let's say if I had a fade or even beard, let's say even a beard trim, I'm sure you guys have people that drive across town to come get your services, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they have how many other competitors, 10, 15, or 20, that they could go to?
Easily.
Easy, yeah, exactly. Easy.
Hands down, easy.
But for whatever reason, they are coming to you, whether it's Skinnies because Skinnies supports LGBT community, or whether because Skinnies donated whatever, or because you in particular makes them feel a certain way when they're in the chair. I had a session with an MUA, real popular MUA here in Austin, and she was kind of like joking about it, and she said, women come to me as kind of like a therapy session. I go, what do you mean? And she says, yeah, they just kind of tell me about the boyfriend and about the husband, and they're creeping with this one, and they're doing this. And I was like, so what do you do? She goes, I just sit there and like, oh, yeah, oh, that's crazy. Oh, oh, this. But here's the thing, though. She has clients that drive across town because maybe they feel I'll pay the premium or whatever she charges to go to someone who will actually listen to me, or that actually cares about my situation more than just cutting my hair, doing my makeup or whatever it could be. So obviously you guys know that personal relationship is very important, especially when you're touching somebody for 20, average haircuts, 20 minutes maybe?
About 30 minutes maybe.
30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very personal connection. So when you can continue to, or don't just be the robot that's cutting the hair, but actually act like you give a shit about what's going on in their life, it's cool because they're paying you and they might even tip you more. You guys know this. You deal with this every day. So that's the main thing, is becoming the first or the only one that they want to go to. Okay. The second one is marketing. And this is where a lot of business owners are totally confused, and it's okay. There's a book I recommend to a lot of people called The E-Myth Revisited. Have any of y'all ever heard of it?
No.
Mm-mm.
I highly recommend you read it, and I'm going to tell you why. Or audiobook, okay? I personally dropped out of school. I hated high school. There was nothing there for me, okay? When I got into business, I started reading business books, and I'm like, whoa, I never liked to read at all, but now that I'm reading business books, this is pretty dope, okay? The E-Myth Revisited, let me tell you why it's going to change your life, especially as a barber. This book takes the technician, which is you cut hair. You do the physical job of cutting hair. Then it takes the manager, which y'all three do, because technically you're managing a shop. You're managing a shop.
Mm-hmm.
You're managing both shops, okay? Then it takes the entrepreneur, okay, which is a third one, which technically that's all three of y'all. Because even though you're a personal brand, you are still an entrepreneur, because like we talked earlier, you have the opportunity to make $1,000 in a day or the opportunity to make $40 in a day. I don't care if you go to a strip club. There's girls that are making big cash and there's girls that are making no cash. It's the same concept. What you put in, you get out, okay? But you have to magnetize yourself, okay? And I say this all the time on whether it's Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter. You have to magnetize yourself to where more people come across town, more people are hitting you up, more people are emailing you. But the thing is, how can you do that though? Because barbers, let's not to offend anybody, but barbers come a dime a dozen. There's a barber shop on every major intersection, it seems like, right?
Yeah.
True.
That's
Yeah.
Very true.
And people can go to any competitor, okay? But you have to say, what am I doing differently, or what can I do differently to have people come to me instead of Supercuts or Great Haircuts or, I don't know, Legends or Austin's Most Wanted or the Teds or any other barbershop in the area. You know, there's a barbershop, just FYI, and I'll tell you why I will never take my son again, okay? I won't tell you the name of the shop on air, but I'll tell you why I will never take my son. Because we walked in, and it looked like it was a prison meeting going on. The guys were just talking like gangsters and F this, F that, blah, blah. And I was like, and the rap music, I mean, it's okay. You can play rap at a barbershop. I'm cool with it. But don't have it blaring all the curse words while the barbers are cursing as well at each other and with the guy 20 feet down. I'm cool with it. But when I bring at the time, my 8-year-old, I don't want him to be listening to that for 20 minutes while we wait and then 20 minutes or whatever while he gets his cut. That place isn't for me and my family. That goes down to the brand.
Yeah.
Can I expect it to happen again? More than likely, because they did it very comfortably. No, I'm serious.
Yeah,
Do they consistently do it? More than likely.
Was it a video or just music?
No, it was music. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was music playing, but it was them just like cursing. Yeah, dog, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, like, do these guys have a good behavior filter or no? Or was this the good behavior? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't care if they're me personally, I don't care if they're award-winning barbers. If it was me going by myself, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
If I have an 8-year-old, and I'm sure you guys get women that go in with kids or
all the time.
exactly, it's family place.
Yes, sir.
But imagine that kind of environment with a family that doesn't vibe like that. More than likely, what's going to happen?
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. They'll be going to the next shop, bro.
That's part of our brand.
Yeah.
Is that people feel comfortable coming in.
Yes.
You know, on the radio, we listen to stuff that I'm not going to listen to when I drive home in my car by myself.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean?
But for business reasons.
Exactly. So we just try to make them feel comfortable, you know, and we're examples
Yeah.
at the same time. When the kids come in,
Yeah.
you know, we try to engage the kids, try to see what's going on, you know, open them up, let them know what a barbershop is supposed to be like.
Yes. Not a Hood Fest 2019.
You know, I've got guys that come from rough parts of town, and they come in the shop because exactly what you said, because they don't want to take them to that shop in their neighborhood and not feel comfortable having their sons run around and you know what they have to put up with.
Or people smoking weed at the front door when they walk in, and it happens in more than just one location. It's all over town. It can happen in. It's all over town. But now getting back to, we can call it either competitive advantage or a value innovation. And when I talk to people, it's not about what you should be doing, but these are things that you might want to look at. Or these are things that I would personally do if I ran a barbershop, or I owned one, or if I owned this, or I owned that. But my thing is, let's say you take, good example, we'll use this as an example. We have 1,000, or let's just say, if I get 100 Instagram accounts of barbers in Austin, Texas, more than likely, what am I going to find? A still image of a ball fade. Or it could be a men's haircut, whatever, cool.
Correct.
But personally, there's no emotion in there, okay? There's literally no emotion. The man, okay, sit still, don't move, let me take the shot. And it's okay, because that's what the industry has been used to, because that's how you showcase your work, to be honest with you. Nowadays, we have the power of video, okay, obviously. Nowadays, Instagram video is, a minute long, I think, is the max.
Yeah.
You have Facebook can go, I believe, up to 10 minutes. And we'll get into what y'all are currently doing on like Facebook and Instagram, but sometimes when I see barbershops on, and this is why I don't follow a lot, because it's the same thing all the time. But my thing would be like, show me some emotion. Show me the guy saying, yo, man, John or Mike or Tino or Gambino or whoever, man, they hook me up. This Caesar fade, can't nobody cut like this in Austin, blah, 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 blah. Because that alone, that 10 or 15, 20-second cosign of a real customer, not a paid actor, that cosign from them is more valuable than you talking about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
We had that happen today, actually.
Okay. Oh,
I think one of Caesar's customers put them on their video, tagged us in there.
Okay.
So we just, put that to
Repost
our story.
or,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens all the time. The videos we don't do so much. We did do a commercial.
Okay.
And we put that out there. We put some money behind it, Facebook, Instagram. But our Instagram is kind of similar to what they're doing, but we also try to put a personal touch on it.
I see what you're saying.
Like today, we shouted out Tiny's birthday.
Okay.
One of our barbers.
Yeah.
And
Let me guess, is he a big dude?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every Tiny's a big dude.
Always. Skinny's usually a big dude too.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, man. We try to put like a Throwback Thursday. We try to add our own personal touch to it. Maybe put some of the old barbers that I worked with, or some of the old barbers in town.
Yeah.
And say that I'm grateful for this dude being in my life.
Yeah, like one of the OGs or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we pay homage to other barbers.
Yeah.
Other barbershops at times. It's a story in there, and we try to make it where you feel a personal touch.
Well, every day you're writing a story every day, and what I and this isn't just barbershops, but I hate especially restaurants when I look at their, let's say, Instagram page, because by the way, nowadays the top two are Facebook and Instagram. Those are your online resume, and that's what I tell people all the time. If people want to look me up, go to Facebook, go to Instagram. I'm starting to put stuff on LinkedIn, I mean, it's funny because I look at LinkedIn and you got all these people graduated from Yale University, went to Harvard, managed this. I ran 3,000. It's like, bro, I dropped out of high school. You need my help? What's up? I don't care about your accolades and awards, to be honest with you. But I'm slowly starting to put content on LinkedIn that's relative to LinkedIn. But for the most part, Facebook and Instagram, I get a lot of clients from Facebook and Instagram, but because I'm putting the right content out there for them to say, I trust this dude, he knows what he's talking about, let me book him. So that might be something that you guys might want to explore. But I like the fact that you're doing more than just a haircut, because a lot of, especially restaurants, they'll take a picture of the food, and they show no customers in the pictures. They show no enjoyment. There's no emotion. It's just a plate of food, a plate of food, a plate of food, a plate of food, 7 days a week. And they're like, yeah, we're popping on Instagram. I'm like, no, you could be like way more popping. You just don't know what to put. And it's okay. And like even something as simple as like you two talking, like, oh, just like smiling, laughing at each other. If I were to see a picture of a restaurant on Facebook or Instagram where the two cooks are in the back playing a game or something, or like just having fun or dancing cumbia, that's cool. I want to see that, because that means they enjoy their job. Because if they enjoy their job, means more than likely my food's going to come out pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But maybe something to explore where saying, okay, let's get these little 10, 15 second video drops, but then you get that, then you run it as an ad. And it could be, just a local neighborhood, 787 with a 45 is the
4.5 and 3.7 out there.
Yeah, for 4.5, you spend $20-$30 in 4.5. It's so easy. Or even as personal brands, hey, this is so and so out here, skinnies, da 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 da. And then you could have a customer with you that just got done with his hair. Check out his haircut, and then he could say, he hooked it up, man. Look, blah, blah, blah. 30 seconds. That's it. Run that. I personally wouldn't rely on the actual business owner, even though I believe maybe John does give that kind of I don't want to say the opportunity, but that blessing to where maybe he puts in some money to advertise the business as a whole. But me personally, because of the situation y'all are in, don't ever rely on somebody else to bring people in for you. Because once again, you get out what you put in.
Right.
but also being a voice in the community. And this is something I'm huge on. And I put a video not too long ago on Instagram. I was in a nail salon. This is in 2008, literally 11 years ago. And we scripted what we were going to say, so I knew what was going to be said. But I specifically told the girl, she talked for like 10 seconds in the clip, and I told her, oh, you're just going to give the public all that information for free? And what I meant by that was, because I understood this 11 years ago, was your educational contribution about your industry. Imagine on a slow day, you start, because y'all each got individual Instagrams, I'm assuming, right?
Yes,
and is it related to the business, or is it more just like personal, like, don't even talk about business?
It's
could be
all about
both, maybe.
business, yeah.
Okay. No. That's cool. So imagine beginning to educate people on what hair dye does to their hair, on what hair dyes, and to you, you might be like, that makes no freaking sense. That's not going to get me no customers tomorrow. But trust me, it does. Because now those people are trusting in you. Like, yo, this guy really knows his stuff when it comes to hair. He's telling me that this specific chemical in Just for Men is different than in whatever the other one could be, and why I should seek a professional to do it. Those little tidbits of information, even though they might seem irrelevant to you right now, to a customer, they're listening. They're paying attention. This guy sees it every day. This guy sees when men come in with freaking black dye on their ears. Oh, you can put Vaseline on your ears, and then it'll be able to wipe off. A lot of men don't know that. But by you doing a little 30-second video, hey guys, hair tip of the week, one per week, it's cool. Did you know that putting Vaseline on your earlobes and blah, 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 will reduce the amount of the ink or the dye? And a lot of guys don't know that. But by you now becoming the trusted source, because that's what you want them to do, once again, the one that knows the industry, okay? The first name that they think of is the one that they trust and they like. And now that they've seen you on video talking, they also kind of know your personality. And they'll say, yeah, that guy's filled with tattoos, but he's freaking cool, though. Little things like that. A lot of people might see guys with tattoos and say, they're just a bunch of gangsters. I'm not taking my kids over there. But when they hear you talk, they're like, this guy's kind of cool.
Yeah.
My perception of him was wrong. Just something to think of. I mean, have y'all...
Shoot, that's actually has happened at the barbershop, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's moms in there that go with kids, or guys that are older, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll walk in there and they'll take a look, and then as soon as I talk to them and, you know, see how they're doing, you know, if they have an appointment or not, right off the back they listen to and they're like, oh, okay, they ask back like, oh, I'm good, how are you?
Yeah.
You know,
but they might be hesitant at first.
At first they just come on in, they look, because I'm the first one at the door.
Oh, okay.
So they'll look.
So they put the pretty boy at the front, right?
They'll kind of just look and stare, you know, but once I get to talking, they're like, all right, you know, and then you know, whenever I get some kids on my chair, you know, they're not looking at me from my tattoos. They're looking at me because I'm talking to them. I don't just talk to adults, you know. I talk to kids too to see how their day's going. And they tell their buddies like, oh, make sure to tell your mom, you know, to you know, get a haircut at Skinny's Barbershop. And there's kids right now that they're in sports and they want like a little design on their head. Like there's one TPD.
Okay.
And some kids that play in football, and they're all getting that. And next thing you know,
TPD, is it like a group or?
TPD is I guess like a slogan. It's trust, passion, and discipline.
Oh, okay. It's kind of popular, like socially, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next thing you know, within that month, I cut like at least 10 kids, man.
Really?
And I did all that same little initial on every single kid.
Do y'all do designs by any chance, like really intense, like Nipsey Hussle type of stuff, or not really?
I do designs, but not portraits.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind to learn, but you know, nobody has the time to do that right now.
Yeah.
You want some simple line or two, maybe a freestyle here and there.
Yeah.
A logo.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Maybe something to look into. So here's another thing. So one thing I've learned with business is there's always things that set people apart. I don't care if you have a donut shop. Round Rock Donuts, good example, there's only one that does that style of donuts. I don't know if, John, you might remember, you're a little OG like me. There was on North Lamar and Runberg, there was some an Asian business owner opened up a bootleg Round Rock Donuts, okay? No, I'm serious. This is years ago because I lived in Aubrey Hills when I was working at Dell.
Uh-huh.
It was on the news. They were basically bootlegging Round Rock Donuts, okay? Because it was an orange donut. And they opened it and they said, oh, we thought, this was on the news. They said, we thought Round Rock Donuts was the style of donuts. But there's something having to do with intellectual property or whatever. That's why you don't see any other orange donuts around town or anywhere near us, because Round Rock Donuts has, once again, I don't know if it's an IP prop, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But anyways, someone tried to do that. But here's the thing, though. Stop and ask yourself this, and I tell this with private clients also. Okay, you're a barber. What's so unique about me? Honestly. And I don't care if you say, I'm cute. I don't care if you say, I dress fly. I don't care if you say, I got the dopest fade in town. That's cool. But here's the thing. Everybody else that's a barber thinks the same. Every other girl that cuts hair thinks this, thinks that. But the reality is you've got so much competition out there. So what is your unique selling proposition? What is so different about you as a personal brand? Don't worry about Skinnies itself, because Skinnies, it's its own thing. You're under the Skinnies umbrella, we'll call it. But as a personal brand, what is it about you that's basically saying, this is why people come to me? That's the determining factor of why they will drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to go see you. Now, it might be something very general. Here's the thing. Check this out. It might be something very general. But imagine when you take it up a notch and you give people a free, you work out a deal with a restaurant next door where they give you a bunch of coupons for $5 off or $10 off, whatever it is. So when customers come to you, they know they're going to hit a lick because they can go next door after they eat because you just gave them a coupon that they can't get from the restaurant, because the restaurant doesn't just freely give them out. Mm-hmm. But they know that the barbers at Skinnies, no, I'm serious.
They got 'em.
The barbers at Skinnies, if they go to so-and-so, he's going to hook you up with this or that. Or you could even get with multiple businesses in the area, get like coupon packs. To where, I know it sounds kind of stupid, right? But here's the thing. If I go to a barber and I live in the area and those business, and this is just an idea, and there's 4 or 5 coupons that he gives me for places that are within 5 minutes of my home. After I get a haircut, hey man, let me hook you up with this. Boom, 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 boom. You are now more valuable to me than the next barber down the road. Because
you're
good.
That's a great idea, man.
Little things like that.
It's happened naturally. We've got a guy that has started up a coffee shop.
Okay.
And he gave me a stack of free coffees.
Uh-huh.
They don't even have to. They don't even have to pay for buy one get one free or anything like that.
100% free,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
So I'll remember to give them out to the customers, and he's the same way as we are as barbers. We feel like if we take care of somebody one time, the way they're supposed to be taken care of, they're going to come back. Well, if they do the same thing over there with a free cup of coffee, they're going to become customers. Plus, they might not know that coffee shop exists because it's kind of tucked away in the back corner. So that's happened naturally, but that's a great idea.
Yeah,
doing something like that. Yeah,
and getting into the free, and this is something that I tell business owners all the time too, because here's the thing: you have what somebody wants. Somebody needs a haircut. You have the ability to cut their hair. You have their solution, okay, to their problem. Whether their beard's all jacked up, whether they got an afro and they want a Caesar fade, it doesn't matter. They can't do it at home or do it to the expectation that they want, but you guys can. But here's the thing. How can you bring them in? Now check this out. Because y'all don't quite, I don't know, we're not going to go into detail of how much you spend on advertising or don't spend on advertising, but let me ask you this, because this is how we're going to break this down. Your average client that comes in, okay, how many times do they get a haircut? Per month, we'll say, average.
At least twice.
Twice?
Yes.
So you're
sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes Once every 2 weeks.
Okay, so but let's
Sometimes
just
once
say
a month.
safe side 2 times per month.
I would say
every
two.
2 weeks.
Two times per month,
maybe.
okay? So we're looking at what, 15, 20 bucks maybe? 20?
20 plus.
Okay, let's just say 20. Let's be
Yeah,
conservative.
20 plus.
Let's be conservative. Let's say 20. So a customer, a regular, because I'm assuming it's majority men, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, majority. So let's say $40 in a month the average customer spends, okay? Minimum 40 times 12, that's $480 in a year, right? 4 times 12. I'm no mathematician, but I think I nailed it on that one. 1, 2, 3. Count Hamakula. Okay, so we've got $480 is what a customer is worth, okay, in a year. Now, let me ask y'all a question. How much are you willing to pay to get a new customer? You don't got to tell me the number, but think about that. What is a new customer? What are you willing to pay to bring somebody in the door? Think about it, okay?
I don't really think.
Could be $5, could be
price is
$300
really
bucks.
a limit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because now you know the actual math.
Yeah. I mean, it can go. And I mean, you can spend as much as you want. I don't really think you having to think, oh, how much am I willing? I don't think that should come to your mind. You know, it should be the outcome that's gonna come with it. So you can spend whatever you want, but just know, you know, you're gonna get one client or you're gonna get 100 more clients from that one client, or you know, et cetera, et cetera.
But not everybody thinks like that. Let me tell you why. I've got a video on my Instagram, IGTV right now, okay? Imagine this. Let's just say you as a barber put in $100 for Facebook ads, we'll say, right? Let's say you only get 4 customers, right? That, you know, let's say 8 come, but only 4 are consistent, right? A pessimist barber will say, man, it didn't do nothing. I only got 4 people. What's 4 times 480? It's almost 2 racks.
That's almost 2
Okay,
racks, yeah.
so here's the thing. That $100 that only brought in 4 people doesn't seem like much, but once you really do the math of just them, and like you say, they got the friend and then the brother they could refer, whatever. That's why I tell people advertising is so valuable. A lot of people say, I don't see this. I'm so booked, I don't need to advertise. That's what some people say. Don't get me wrong. I'm so booked, I don't need to. And I'm like, no, you're booked right now. Wait until another barbershop opens up and starts advertising, and they say, we're giving free haircuts for the first week or 2. Because here's the thing, they need customers. And guess where they're going to take them from? From you guys. They're going to do anything they can do to pull. That's business. Mm-hmm. They say they see you eating, and they're going to come and take your plate.
Yeah,
that's the reality. And I had a lady in here does ink tattoos on hair, okay? And I told her, what is your cheapest? And y'all will think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but this is really why I'm getting the results that your typical marketing advisor is not getting. Okay, let me tell you exactly what I'm about to tell you. Her cheapest thing is $18 for an eyebrow waxing or whatever, $18. Okay, cool. I said, think of your slowest day. Okay, give them away. She said, what do you mean? I said, give them away. She says, I said, no. That's what you don't understand. How long does it take you? 20 minutes? I said, okay. Your slowest day, run an ad. Let's say Tuesday or whatever the day is. Tuesday. New clients only. Okay? New clients only. I'm doing free eyebrow waxing, No purchase necessary. Nothing, So, in your mind right now, you might be like, yo, if I were to do 20 cuts for free, that's like $400 I'm missing out on. No, you're investing 6, 7, 8 hours, or you might even designate a day to where you're only going to do a free haircut. And when I'm telling you this, I'm telling you to try it because it might blow your mind. You might have 20 haircuts, or I don't know how many you typically can do in a day, but 10 to 20 haircuts that you give away for free. Let's say you retain 5 of those customers, and each one is worth right under $500. That's $2,500 they're going to make you in a year. Once you divide and do the math, that's pretty much your car payment for the year with 5 people that you retained.
Yes, sir.
And it's not just about that. That's just the numbers. the publicity you guys are going to get. And what I mean by this, imagine this. My little boy's mom told me the other day, National Donut Day. They're giving a donut away. I said, you think I'm going to drive to a freaking place to go get a free donut that costs 69 cents? Well, I am. And guess what? A lot of people do. When it's a free Slurpee, when it's a free Junior Burger at Sonic, when it's a free corn dog, these crazy people line up around the building to get a $1 item for free. Wait till you offer a $15 or a $20 item for free. The publicity alone that you will get, because let me tell you something about Facebook that you guys already know. All you got to do is hit share. So now whoever follows you just marketed you to a whole nother group of people. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, and of course, it's something of value to them because it's free. But here's the thing. You should have a limit on it. Only accepting 20. You have to email, register, or however you want to do it, or you might even want to do a deposit type of thing where we'll book you. You could say, we'll take a deposit, but you get your deposit back cash because we want to make sure you're going to show up so other people that wanted it don't miss out. You know, like you got some skin in the game. That alone, you test it, see if it works. Like you might do it for one day. You might do it and do it at your location, but it might be only one or two barbers that are doing it. And it's a risk because you're like, hey, bro, that ain't the typical business model. Like we don't operate like that. But here's the thing. That's why all these barbers are getting the same exact results because they all do the same exact thing. Nobody is willing to jump off the cliff and say, yo, I'm doing something very unique that nobody's doing. Is Supercuts giving away free haircuts for a day? Nope. Oh, wait, we'll do it only if it's back to school and underprivileged children and blah, blah, blah. Cool, so's everybody else. When it's back to school, guess what happens? Everyone's giving away free haircuts for underprivileged kids. It's just like Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. You only take your girl out to a fancy restaurant when it's Valentine's Day. You only buy roses when it's Valentine's Day. Just like every other single girl on Instagram and Facebook posting the same chocolate-covered strawberries from H-E-B. The same thing. But is it true, though? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that specific strategy or that specific campaign, but that's how I want people to think to where like, yo, what am I really doing that's different, or what am I willing to do that's different so I can get some different results? Because now, when you start doing that, the other barbershops get scared. Oh, shit. Man, you see what Skinny's is doing? What do we do? No, we can't afford that. But they don't know on the back end. Once again, we just broke down the math of how you can turn 5 people into $2,500. Mm-hmm. And that's just from 5. Think about that, but put it into action. Write it on paper. Start doing numbers like that. And it sounds crazy, but it will do more for your business that you can think of. I had just, to wrap it up, or not wrap it up, but wrap up what I'm saying. I had a client paid me to go out. He had a cell phone repair business. We were talking about tempered glass. It's $15. I said, how much does it cost? 90 cents. Give them away. He's like, what? I said, give them away. Because what do you mean give them away? I said, dude, they only cost you 90 cents. You just told me that your average average customer is $200 for the year. Do a giveaway where you're giving away on this day 25, on this day 25. You're investing literally like $45 of tempered glass. Give them away. That buzz that you're going to get for giving away tempered glass with no purchase necessary, no strings attached, no nothing, will do more for your business than you can think of. Because if you can even retain 4 of those people or 3 of those people to become a customer throughout the year, that's $600, $800, $1,000 based on what you just told me. What did it cost you? 45 freaking bucks. And maybe $50 for advertising in the area, or $100, whatever. The math is there. You just have to take the leap of faith and say, yo, I need to think like an entrepreneur and no longer like a technician. Because a technician is a guy just cutting hair. And that's cool. If you enjoy cutting hair, that's cool. But you as a personal brand are a manager and an entrepreneur as well. That's why the E-Myth Revisited is going to really change your life. That one is dope. And the second book I recommend is called Blue Ocean Strategy. That one in a nutshell basically is, the red ocean is everybody. Imagine a taco truck, right? There's 1,000 taco trucks in Austin. Everyone's killing each other. Beefsteak, this, that, $2 tacos, $2.50. Cool. But the blue ocean is somebody that's doing something totally different. And it breaks down like literally a chart. You can even Google it. blue ocean strategy, red ocean strategy, and it gives you a chart of how people are doing something totally different, and it gives you the formula of how to do it. And it'll blow your competitors away because they have no clue how you learn to do this. It's all in books. It's information, man, being transferred around.
No,
Yeah. We got like about 10, maybe 15 more minutes. Are there any more or any specific situations, though, that maybe you guys wanted to implement, or maybe ideas that you guys had, and maybe you need some clarity on how could we go about this, or just anything in particular? Feel free, jump in, dive in.
I mean, I remember John was talking about he wanted to give a talk to what was it, like the people that do the weddings.
Oh yeah, where we're at the new location.
Wedding planners.
Yeah, man. Dripping Springs has become
Hotspot.
the wedding capital of the world, and
Yep.
what I've noticed is that people are calling in and saying, "Hey, so and so is getting married. I want to set them up with an appointment." Well, our appointment system, they can book 3 months out.
Oh, okay.
So there's a bunch of venues out there. You know, it ain't cheap to get married out there.
Yeah.
So either saying, hey, if y'all want to come Sunday, if y'all want to come Saturday, y'all can book an appointment. But talk to the wedding planners, make sure it's an option for them to, have our information.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, if your groomsman, if the guy wants to get cleaned up before the
Yeah.
big day.
You know, you could basically. I'm sorry, John.
Go ahead.
But basically, you could have them get like a package. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and your best man and everybody's wants to come out in it or whatnot. You know, we'll give you this deal. You guys can come out and have the barbershop to your guys' selves. Have no other people in there, but
That'd be dope.
Everybody from your wedding there, and we'll hook you guys up with a haircut, hot towel, shave. We'll get you guys ready for but we offer this package or this deal.
Yeah.
And and obviously if they live in the neighborhood, they're
Even
gonna
better,
come
yeah.
back. You know what I'm saying?
True. And the way to do that is not hard. Okay? Because here's the thing. I tell people this all the time. This is you. This is the customer you're trying to get to. There's a gap. That's all it is. It's a gap. How do you close the gap? Well, the person in the middle is the wedding planner. So all you do is you go to Google or look up hashtags, maybe on Instagram. My friend Mika, she happens to be a wedding planner that's always in Dripping Springs because like John was saying, that's where it's popping. And it's cool. But here's the thing. It might be popping for the next 2 years, and after that, it all goes downhill. That's the reality of how things happen. MySpace was popping, it went away. Vine was popping, it went away. All these platforms or all these locations are popping. Acapulco used to be the freaking hotspot. All the drug stuff and all the violence that happened in Acapulco went downhill. It turned to Cancun.
Expose was popping.
Expose was popping, and it went downhill. No, but that's the truth. So what I'm saying is take advantage while it's there. But how do you get to it? Well, easy. You go to Google, you look up wedding planners, you start hitting them up directly. But here's the thing. I learned this in the corporate world years ago. WIFM, what's in it for me? Okay? Because every wedding planner is going to say, that's great, you're offering this. What do I get out of it? Because really, what are you actually offering them? Nothing yet. Yeah. But if you give them kickbacks, hey, anything over $200, you get this. Everything over $500, everything over $1,000. So now you do the old Ricky Williams, No Limit Records kind of deal and say, hey, the better you do, the more you make. So you go out there and you hustle, you bring the people, you're going to get a kickback. That's all it is. But you got to always take care of the people that basically connected the dots or connected you to the client.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people don't like to do because they're like, well,
That's a good tip. I didn't, that never crossed my mind. I just thought, hey, we're going to give them a great service. Their customer's going to be happy. We're going to be happy, of course.
Yeah, there's just no incentive, though.
Exactly. That didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, no, it's cool, and that's what I'm here for. It's because how can I say, wedding planners, they're go-getters, okay? There's many different ways because they're trying to up it and up it and up it because obviously they can go by percent. They might get a percentage or they might give a flat rate. But if they can say, hey, this guy came aboard that owns a barbershop and said, hey, we'll do this, and this is what we're going to do for you. And make sure, by the way, just negotiating tactic, well, that's a whole nother show in itself, but one negotiating tactic, imagine someone sends you an email, okay? And I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. Or you're conversating with somebody. In reality, what is the only thing you really remember? The very end, right? You read an email, blah, 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 blah. And the last 1 or 2 lines is what really sticks with you. Or when you're talking with somebody, the end of it. Here's a tactic. When you say, oh, this, let me tell you now what I'm going to do for you. And that's what you tell to the wedding planner. Because now when the wedding planner is like, oh, I'm actually going to get something rather than you trying to hit a lick off of me, which a lot of people love to do. They love to see somebody, whether they're their clients are right there or somebody shining, let me get a piece of that pie, but they're not willing to replace it with something else. Mm-hmm. So just something to think about, but what y'all are talking about can be easily done. Now, don't get me wrong, you might hear 10 people, you might approach 10, but only one is going to tell you yes. Mm. But it's okay because, once again, that one yes could introduce you to 12 new men. Okay, let's say you retain 3 of them or 4 of them. That's $2,000 in the year going back to somebody's pockets. Mm-hmm. So don't worry about the rejection aspect because you're going to hear 95% is going to be no, 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 no. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take your information, which they do all the time. I'll take your information. I'll take your card. Mm. But you also got to follow up with them. Or the wedding planners that you really want to get in good with, if it's a man or if they got kids, invite them in for a free haircut so they can see firsthand what you actually do, how you do it. Because here's the thing, they have no clue how you guys operate.
Right off the jump. Just say, hey, come on, let's take care of you, see what we can do.
Invite him. I had a guy that was he owns a float therapy. I'm sorry, what's it called? True Rest Austin. Float therapy. You literally float in 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We were talking and I told him call centers. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, call centers that have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000. And just FYI, peep this, because I used to go to call centers all the time and make hundreds of dollars in an hour selling desserts. Imagine being able to market. By the way, Skinny's is on Westgate. There's a call center at the very end of Westgate called AT&T. There's about 1,000 people there. How many people do you think live in the area of that 1,000? Probably a lot. Mm-hmm. How many people might not be your customer? Probably a lot. Now, how easy is it to get in there? Easy. You go to the front door. You ask for the admin, see who it is. If it's a male or woman, male, female, offer them something for free. Mm. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I run so-and-so shop. I want to give you something personally. I want to invite you to come out to get a free haircut. Because here's the thing. If they like what you guys do and how you guys operate, it's a lot easier for them to say, oh, yeah, put your flyers in our break room. Or, hey, let's say her name is Nancy. Nancy's the admin or HR lady, whatever, at AT&T. Hey, Nancy, we'd like to offer all of your employees, as long as they show their AT&T badge, 50% off or 75% off. Now, you guys might say, hell no, that's $15 coming out of my pocket. But here's the thing. What is that one customer worth if you can get them in the loop? $480. So by you losing $15, remember, quote unquote, losing $15, are you willing to take the risk to get $480 back? Hell yeah. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's why you can go and talk to these call centers. And AT&T is, 4 minutes from you? You know where Balance Dance Studios is?
Exactly where that
it's
is,
right there by Balance Dance Studios. So just an idea, but here's the thing. Don't limit yourself to AT&T. Rinse and repeat. Do it with all the call centers, because when they have access to 500 employees or 1,000 employees, once again, you're here. The people you want is here. There's the gap. There's the gatekeeper, which is the admin or the HR girl or guy, whoever it is. But you got to be able to do something for them so you can use them as the mole to get you into the loop, to get you into the system, to have your flyer or your unique selling proposition of 50, 75% off to blast out to all the employees. Because out of 1,000, let's just say 50 show up. Let's just say you actually retain 5 of those. Once again, that's like $2,500 in a year. Mm-hmm. With 5 that actually kept on with y'all. Was it worth it? I believe so.
Hell yeah.
Just, these are just ideas. We got like 5 more minutes. But so far, has this been helping to learn how to make immediate more cash. Because here's another thing, just to throw it in there, because I know I didn't mention it. There's 3 ways to grow any business, okay? People say marketing. Okay, yeah, we know that. Oh, but this, okay, great customer service. Yeah, we know that. But really, it comes down to 3 things. Apply this to your personal brand, okay? Number 1, you need more customers. More customers means more cash, right? Number 2, okay, increase the frequency of the times the customers come in. So let's say you have a guy twice a month. Cool. Let's say he's once a month. Get him in twice or 3 times a month. Even if you have to give him an incentive for 20% off if he visits again within a month, to you, you might be like, oh man, that's 20%. That's $4 or $5. But imagine if you have 100 customers coming 1 extra time a month, and you're only making $15 off that 1 extra time. You do the math. That's $1,500 extra. That's your house payment. Yeah. Unless you live in Shady Hollow and it's $2,300 or whatever. But you get what I'm saying though. So the second one is increase the frequency of the customers, and the third one is increase the size of the transaction. When you have let's say you have a girl or a woman that comes in with 3 kids, but she only cuts 1 kid's hair. Ask her, say, hey, I'm kind of curious. You always get his haircut, but how come none of the other kids get hair? And don't say it like, hey, man, what the hell? Don't say it like that. But ask. I'm just kind of curious because let's say, unless they're like, baby, that's different. But if they're of age, say, I'm just kind of curious. How come? Oh, well, I can't afford to get all 3 at what y'all charge. Because if you're looking at $15 to $20, 3 kids is like damn near $60. See, I'll tell you this. If you bring them in every week, then you can work out a little deal. Because remember, you know what it really takes to cut a kid's hair. I'll tell you this. If you do all 3 at once, every time you book, I'll bring it down to $10 or $12 for those extra kids. Or whatever, Because now, check this out. When she sees that now she got a good deal and you can maintain that deal with her, now you've increased the size of that transaction from $15 to $20 to now $40 or $35 or $40 every single time. And a kid's cut typically takes, 10, 15 minutes if that?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a $20
if they're good and they sit still.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like a standard man that's like a 30-minute cut. Yeah. So... Well, yeah, depending on their, screw y'all, you're not my real dad. But it's little things like that just, keep that in mind. Increase the size of the transaction, increase the frequency of when the customers come in, and third, you need more customers. When you focus on those 3, if you can even start growing one of them, you might be making more money. If you can do 3 simultaneously, you will skyrocket, not just customer-wise, but cash-wise. I did it with the dessert business with a trailer. I did it with so many aspects of a dessert business, but I learned that I'm like, yo, this actually works. But
Hamid, I wish I brought 2 of the busiest guys in there. There's a few more that are busy, but I wish I would have brought some of the other guys in here.
It's
that could have used some of this advice, this motivation behind getting different ways to market themselves.
And this is just quick, by the way. This is just like a quick crammed little session that we're doing, so short on time. But here's the thing. You guys got the game and the way of thinking now. All you have to do is be the OG that gives it down to the other barbers. Because when they see you doing it, here's what let me actually recommend this better. You guys heard it here first. Take it, apply it, make it happen, okay? Once you start seeing that it's working and they say, hey, man, let me give you the game. Because here's the thing. They got their own people that are going to gravitate towards them. You guys got your people that are going to gravitate towards you. So it's not like y'all are undercutting each other and blah, blah, blah. But you got to say, let me see if this method or this way of thinking actually works. And once y'all apply it first with you guys and it's actually working, then say, let me give you guys the game now. That's all it is. Yeah. That's really all it is. But
I heard one more thing.
Yeah, talk to me.
You were talking about solution. People come in our shop. They need a haircut.
Yes.
Let's give them a solution. And Caesar talks a lot about the solution side of it.
Yes.
Sometimes we're jammed up Fridays and Saturdays, but I'll let Caesar tell you better.
Yeah.
If you want, Caesar, go ahead. We get a lot of customers that walk in the door, and sometimes we are booked up. We're fully booked. But that doesn't mean that you have to tell the customer no.
Yes.
You can always be like, hey, I got this time open. Can you come back at this time? Or just ask somebody else if they're not busy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, book an appointment online, or I'll be here to this time, 6:30. You come back at 6:30, or come back at 2 o'clock. That's the time I have open. Give them a solution. Don't ever just tell them no.
Yeah.
Because once you tell them no, they're going to another shop.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Easily, quick.
Yep.
Always give them a solution. Never say no.
Yes.
At least give them an opportunity, a time frame to come back, or even to just sit down and wait.
Yeah.
To see if someone cancels or something.
Yep.
You're in the door.
Because that customer, could be worth $500 a month. I mean, a year.
Exactly.
And not just that, like you said, they could turn around, walk somewhere else. There's
Easily.
Let me tell you real quick. There's a barbecue restaurant. This was it 2018? Yeah, 2018. Barbecue restaurant I went to, right? I was actually doing a delivery. I saw a customer walk in. He wanted, well, this is a very unique item of the restaurant. That's why I won't give all the details because they're still the homies. He walked in and he wanted that specific item, okay? And the girl at the register said this, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. We don't have it right now." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then it got kind of awkward, right? And I'm staying, because remember, I'm doing a delivery, but I'm also hungry. And he goes, "Oh," she goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And he goes, "Okay, yeah, that's what I came for. Sorry, sir." And he walked off, okay? I asked the girl, "Hey, how much longer till y'all have that out?" She said, "Oh, it should just be like 5 minutes." Now, keep in mind, remember, I own a business at the time, and I'm thinking, why didn't she freaking tell this to the customer, right? So I said, "Why didn't you tell him?" And she goes, "Well, because it might take longer." I'm like, "Did you happen to check?" She didn't bother to check. This is no lie, when I said that, guess who comes out? An employee with the little aluminum pan, whatever. Another guy picked up the lid, put it down, and it was right there. I said, "Well, you know what? Let me get," literally, I could almost guarantee the customer was probably still in his car or barely pulling out the parking lot. But I was like, either she wasn't trained right or she just didn't care that they just lost a customer. Whether he goes in every day or whether he was just cruising through Austin, who knows? They literally just lost a customer when all she had to do is say, "You know what, sir, let me check on that for you." Yeah. So what you say is a perfect analogy or example of what I just experienced myself too. It's really interesting.
Well, even if they're coming for you, that doesn't mean they got to stick with you.
Yeah.
You can ask other barbers, "Hey, anybody got time open?" Give them a solution. Don't just tell them no.
Yeah, yeah.
Easily, because they can get a haircut easily, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anywhere else.
Very
besides
true.
our shop.
Very true.
And there's 1,000 barbershops in Austin, you know what I'm saying? So for them coming to us is a blessing, you know what I mean?
Yep. And they're paying for the brand,
yes.
Whether it's Skinny's the brand or whether it's you guys, the individual brand, that's who they're going to see.
Correct.
That's who they are paying for. So you find a way to give them what they want. Other than that, anybody got anything to say before we wrap up?
That reminds me of one thing.
Yeah.
I worked for an old barber downtown 38th Street.
Yeah.
And that guy was, man, he was hungry. He's still cutting hair. He's 78 years old.
Oh, my.
And we're a busy shop. Place was packed. But a customer would come in and they'd look and they'd see that we're busy and they wouldn't even ask, how long's the wait?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this old man would come out from whatever he was doing and chase that. When he went back in the parking lot to go find his car, he would chase that client down and say, "Hey, man, it ain't going to be that long."
Yeah,
He feels the same way I probably feel is if they sit in our shop and they experience what they experience with us, as far as the haircut, the service, the friendliness, all of our barbers are good people.
That's good,
And they're going to come back. If they don't come back, they might tell somebody. It's like the big picture. It's not short money.
Yeah. And it's a world now where people are so connected. They can either say something very negative about you and tell everybody, or something very positive about you. And once again, that goes back to, it's better for someone else to talk about how good you are than for you to talk about how good you are. Because I can talk all day about how much I know, but I'd rather you guys say, "Man, that dude Hamid, he knows his stuff, man. Talk to him, blah, blah, blah." Because that is a better cosign than me talking about myself.
That's another thing. They've got these Facebook neighbors pages and all kinds
groups
of stuff.
and such.
Yeah, so what's happening now with us, even at the South shop, there's I think Moms of South Austin. You know, they're always shouting us out. Dripping Springs neighbors, somebody says, hey, I need a haircut. They're coming through, you know, saying skinny, skinny, skinny. Of course, they're mentioning a couple other places, but the majority
but you're in the
of
mix.
The majority of it is either us or, you know, it's just nice to even be part of the conversation.
Yep. And like I said, your ultimate branding goal is become the first or the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's really what it comes down to. So just think about that. Other than that, we are officially done. Skinny's Barbershop right here. Hamid Yaz, you've been watching The Heat Tank. Take this, share it. Appreciate you tuning in, and we out.